Hi, welcome to the show. Today we're going to do something a bit different. We're not going to help just one business. We're going to help a town and multiple businesses. It's going to be fascinating. Let's go and meet them. Morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Good to see you. Now, Marcia, Donna, Dennis and Carolyn.
Yep.
Dennis.
Yes.
Where on earth are we?
Well, we're in Wingham, which is a New South Wales country town, situated 3 hours north of Sydney, near a town called Taree. Approximate population is 4,500 people, Dave. We service a hinterland of probably the same. Lovely country town, very country, very friendly, one of the secrets of New South Wales.
It is very pretty, let me tell you. It's just a gorgeous spot. So let's go through all your businesses. What do you do, Carol?
I'm an architect and my husband's an architect, and we have an architectural firm in Wingham in the main street.
Okay, Dennis?
I'm an optometrist, David. I'm one of the principals of Wingham Eye Care. I have a business partner, Heather Wilson, and we've been here for, it doesn't seem that long, probably 21 years actually.
Sure. Wow. Donna?
I have a cafe, Bent on Food, where we're sitting right now, and also a homewares store called Bent on Life, which is a gift store as well.
Marcia, tell us about your business.
Yes, I have a ladies' boutique, Ashley Road. I've been there 14 years. And we've also opened in September a lovely little XY shop, it's called, for guys and girls streetwear.
So, Dennis, give us some of the issues and challenges you're facing.
Wingham is a country town rebadging itself, I suppose. We think that we've got a really good thing happening here. We want outsiders to come in, give us some advice, see how well we're doing and see if we're up to those awards that we've got.
Well, look, I reckon we can help with two people. Linda Haley, this is actually what she does. Part of her business is goes to different towns and assesses them and consults and advises on how to make yourself different, how to attract new people. But she's very matter of fact. Are you up for that?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to need thick skins, let me tell you. And look, Kevin Moore, I reckon, is one of the best retail gurus in the country. He will walk up and down these streets and just pop out ideas to really make this place stand out. You up for it?
Yep.
Enthusiastic?
Yeah.
Good.
With us.
Okay. Marketing hotshot Linda Haley and retail guru and Crossmark Chief Executive Kevin Moore are keen to help the Wingham businesses get their town on the map. Donna Carrier runs two businesses in Wingham, a cafe bent on food and a homewares and gift store bent on life.
When I first opened Bent on Food, people told me I'd go broke. You've taken too much of a risk, it's the wrong demographic, people don't have the money to spend this much on lunch. So a lot of people said that, but then there was a whole group, a niche that I knew was there, that came straight away.
For me, that's the key thing. It doesn't matter where we shop, anywhere in the world, let alone anywhere in Australia. We all want the same things. We all want to be able to have great service and taste things that are different, or see things that are different, or have a service that's different. All of us. It's not differentiated by where we live.
It's also getting that balance between servicing the local market, and I think one of the things you've done very cleverly is you've identified a market that was probably a bit hidden. And one of the things I find, and I know you do this, is pricing in the window in a regional business is really important, because the assumption from locals is, it looks a bit flash, it's going to be expensive, and yet when you walk in, you actually find, hang on, it's a really good price point.
And I think explaining on the menu what they're actually getting, like free-range eggs, locally smoked bacon, 200-gram Scotch fillet on their steak sandwich, so they know they're getting some value for their money.
Marcia Burke runs two fashion boutiques, Ashley Road and XY.
Being the only ladies' fashion store in Wingham, I was trying to look after all ages.
Yep.
And as I was growing, I found that I should be really looking after the younger ones, because they were coming in, but they weren't coming in as much. So I thought, Wingham is just going ahead in leaps and bounds. Why aren't I putting in another shop, for the younger generation?
The research is showing that young girls don't actually want to shop next to their mothers.
That's right. Yes.
So they actually quite like having their own space. I think from a regional point of view, clever retailers are starting to do this. They're starting to actually divide up their stock, find another space in town, and you wouldn't have to do this, but you can also do what we call two-in-one concepts. Because in regional areas you tend to get a big chunk of real estate for your rent, there's often a really good opportunity to identify a gap in the mix in town. So if it's young fashion, it could be young fashion, but it could be sportswear, it could be books, and take another concept and pop it into the same space. I've seen some fabulous examples. I've seen a florist and lingerie. I've seen a pet store and a sex store in the same space. I've seen a car wash and a dog wash together. So I think that's something that regional businesses can do way better than Metro.
After the break, service with a smile.
The service businesses in regional towns that are a part of that main street are actually like teeth in a smile.
This business travel tip is brought to you by Qantas. Use a card that will return a benefit to you and your company, including frequent flyer points and Qantas flight rebates. Our marketing and retail gurus, Linda Haley and Kevin Moore, are meeting with some Wingham business owners to help them get a clearer view of their role in rejuvenating the town. Next off the rank, Dennis Smith from Wingham Eye Care.
We know that we buy from people that we know and trust and feel comfortable with. I have no doubt that when people get in your consulting room, you've got them. You've got them hooked. But it's not just about the consulting room. There's a sales process that needs to come in as well. And what makes you a good optometrist doesn't necessarily make you a great salesperson. Good sales in optometry don't actually come from selling, they come from customer service. They come from understanding where your customers are at. So one of the things you can get some of your dispensing staff to do is to actually sit down and talk about what the options are for that particular patient. Okay. Guaranteed, within 2 years they will have bought most of them.
And that's your expertise. So within your store, there are two very highly paid people, and are optometrists. And then there are people who just love retail, and they look after your customers. If you were to look at a proportion of sales in your business, what proportion would be sunglasses compared to prescription?
Actually, most of our sunglasses are prescription sunglasses, Kevin. I would say 80% upwards would be prescription sunglasses.
Would you consider selling fashion sunglasses?
Depends on the person's definition of fashion.
Let me ask you another question. Would you consider your store staff taking responsibility to sell sunglasses?
Yes, I would.
That's great, because that's the jump we need to make. Most optometrists genuinely love what they do. You make people's lives better. That's what you do. Your store staff make people's lives better in a different way. They come in, they want a fashionable accessory. It's not prescription. They're younger, or they just want a pair of sunnies that look different. And if you can give your store staff that space, empower them to do that, they will take your ratio from 80-20 to 60-40 without that prescription dropping in value. Does that make sense?
That makes.
Your business will grow. And it will grow because the people who love retail, who want to be part of it, will bring that alive for you.
Caroline McFarland and her husband Russell operate the award-winning architectural practice Austin McFarland.
Unlike most architects, we actually have a shop front, which is
very unusual.
And I suppose we don't need to attract people off the sidewalk to get work. So we don't really focus on our shop front, but we really enjoy being part of a town and being in the main street and seeing what people do. And also, we find that people like seeing what we do, and they like going past and seeing that we're around.
You're an artisan. You're part of the entertainment. The work you do is beautiful. You've got this fantastic space and people can see you. Because you've taken that step to be there, perhaps your shop front could be closer in feel of the work you do. So being here, you have that opportunity. How can we make it the best it can be, the most it can be?
And these opportunities also come with responsibilities.
Yes.
If you think about that main street, the service businesses in regional towns that are a part of that main street are actually like teeth in a smile. And when we've got, fabulous retail outlets with great window displays, and then we've got a professional service with the net curtain and the dead blowies, and that's not yours. That's not yours. But it's suddenly like there's a bad tooth in the smile. So there's lots and lots of ways that professional practices can participate in that main street environment. Recently, I was in a small town, and there's surveyors, local surveyors, and have got a shop in the middle. And they obviously, what do you put in front of a surveyor shop? You could blank it out, but they wanted to be part of the community. So they found some old surveying equipment, and they've combined it with the biggest display I've ever seen of rabbit traps. And so it's become a bit of an interesting feature. When I was working with this community, I pointed that out, and another professional practice said, oh, well, I actually collect old horse bits. Maybe I could do something in my window. So suddenly this country town's got their professional practices all working together to do something really creative.
This technology building block is brought to you by Telstra.
Reliable, high-speed internet access has become an essential business tool. But do you have a business-grade solution to keep your business productive and protected? Telstra's business broadband solutions can give you that peace of mind. For instance, armed with a Telstra broadband plan and Telstra-provided Cisco SRP series router, you can use the unlimited upload allowance to back up your business data off-site. The router's built-in advanced security and encryption gives you peace of mind when you remotely access your business server while working out of the office. What's more, when you also have a mobile broadband solution, if your fixed line broadband is interrupted, you can simply plug in a Telstra mobile broadband device and keep the office running. With Telstra, you have the peace of mind that you're connected to a business broadband service that lets you focus on your business.
To find out more about Australia's fastest and most reliable business broadband, go to telstra.com/business. After the break, looking at the town through fresh eyes, our experts take a tour.
So it's an opportunity for every single shop owner to get out and have a look at what I look like from the car. This competition is brought to you by Qantas. Qantas is celebrating small business with an amazing opportunity. Every week, one business could win $1,000 worth of Qantas flights to use for business travel. How do you enter? Easy. Go to qantas.com/SME and tell us in 25 words or less how Qantas can help manage your business travel. Retail and marketing experts Kevin Moore and Linda Haley are touring New South Wales country town Wingham with the local Chamber of Commerce President Donna Carrier. It's really interesting in a regional town, especially for visitors, they drive through looking for clues that this is their kind of spot. And really what they're after are toilets that are visible. Yep. They like to see cafe chairs, all that sort of stuff, because that says it's outside dining. Then they look at the types of shops. So it's an opportunity for every single shop owner to get out and have a look at what I look like from the car.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because if I can't convince my husband to stop, then he's going to drive straight by.
We have a street beautification plan that we've been working on for 6 years, the Chamber of Commerce, in alignment with Council. So now we're starting to get funding coming in. We just got $180,000 in federal funding.
Fantastic.
There's still a lot more funding needed.
Now the great thing about that is it's almost like priming a pump.
Yeah.
When you get some funding from government and you start to work, people start to work too.
Yep.
So you'll find that what people do is they will start to look, as we've just talked about, they'll start to look at stores and say, you know what? Things are getting a bit better. I'd like my place to be a bit better.
Yeah.
And it just starts to blossom. But it's a 3-year journey. Should we wander on down and have a look at some other small stores? So one of the challenges you've always got is trying to get, it's almost like organising the town to make sure you've got the right type of retailers in the right type of places. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things to think of is if you think of a town like Wingham as a shopping centre, and every shopping centre has a mix, one of the things that the Chamber can do is have a look at the vacancies in town and create opportunities to actually target businesses to bring in. So by working with local real estate agents and owners to actually work out what do we need in the mix. So you can do anything like you can market. So you can do some marketing in an area of Sydney for people who are after a tree change, but actually promoting it in your real estate windows.
But it also supports what Manning Valley are talking about. They actually want people to come and live.
That's right.
Move from the cities and come and live, and that's a great way to do it. It fits in naturally. So the great thing about seeing an investment like this, where you've got Coles, you've got Caltex, and a whole new shopping plaza is there's significant investment going on.
Yeah.
The fact is there's now leasing, so there are now sites for people to come to. So I guess from your point of view, it's almost like a welcoming, facilitating thing for people to come here.
That's right, yeah. Now we have plenty of space. If people want to come and set up businesses in Wingham, there's plenty of space and there's plenty of opportunity, and we're welcoming of those people to come.
And I think for the rest of you, this is such great information you're getting, because Coles does not put in a new development unless they've done extensive research. Yeah. They know that Wingham's going to grow.
That's right.
I think the key thing about all of this is when you get small businesses, chambers of commerce, big business and government working together, you can truly breathe new life into towns, and you can make it a better place to live, and you can make it better for everybody. Done sensibly, done well.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
This business building block is brought to you by Westpac.
As a business owner, are you getting the most out of your bank relationship? If not, visit your local Westpac branch and find out about the range of services on offer to help you grow your business. For instance, to make banking more convenient for local businesses, we have more than 400 local business bankers in branch, and we're more accessible with 56 local business banking centres. What's more, Westpac business bankers are there to assist you with far more than just your typical banking needs. They have just launched Cash Scan, a component of the new business toolbox, which helps you uncover hidden cash in your business. This is in addition to the unique financial education courses Westpac have been running for over 10 years, enabling business owners to make real differences to their cash position and profits. So visit your Westpac local business banker to find out how business banking has changed.
To find out more, go to westpac.com.au/businessbuilders. After the break, we visit another country town and meet an innovative small business taking on the world.
When you're trying to establish operations in remote locations, you need coverage with bandwidth.
This segment is brought to you by Telstra. Gadget guy Pete Blasina is visiting New South Wales country town Armidale to meet a fascinating small business that's selling its innovative remote monitoring solutions to the world, RM Tech. Pete's chatting with RM Tech Director Brendan Doyle.
So Brendan, I'm really curious about how the different elements in the monitoring system work. Can you, in a simple way, describe them?
Certainly. If you like, we've got a server network which is connected across NextG to remote locations. The remote location will have a camera such as that. Yeah. On that signboard we can also put a weather station, a visibility sensor, a whole range of other devices so that they can know what's happening in the remote location. We bring that data back and then we present it to the customers across a range of mediums. So they may want it via email, they might want it via an IP phone call into a control centre, or they may just want to be able to view it on the web inside their corporate network, or maybe even at home and be able to come back into our servers from home across the internet.
So Brendan, remote monitoring must mean that there's some kind of infrastructure to allow communication with devices like this, farms, etc. What do you use?
Certainly, I suppose the important part of our business relies on our connection to Telstra and their NextG network. It's a very pervasive network, and when you're trying to establish operations in remote locations, you need coverage with bandwidth.
Right.
Honestly, the bandwidth and the reach of the network constantly amazes us, and it's fantastic.
Are we talking 10 kilometres or 100 kilometres?
No, certainly we've got coverage in areas where you wouldn't expect it, and they can be up to 100 kilometres from a township because of the location of the tower network. The beautiful thing about Telstra for us is that we can set up gear here in Armidale and transport it to Western Australia, to Northern Territory or Queensland, or right here in New South Wales, and it will work because the network is pervasive and it's the same.
So give me a couple of examples that where this is applied and how it's worked.
Certainly, I mean, a really poignant example at the moment is exactly what we're doing here.
Right.
We've got a signboard which is showing motorists exactly what's happening, but for the authorities who want to know what the behaviour of drivers is, they've now got a camera on board so they can see whether it's actually having the impact they want. But further down where the floodwater is, of course, we've got our own cameras there again, and that information is going back to the road authorities so they can make decisions about what to have on that sign. Okay. It just saves all that travel time, Peter, and it really uses, I suppose, technology to its nth degree.
So you showed me a great example in the office where a tree fell on railroad tracks.
Yeah, and that's a good example because at that location they have rockfall sensors, but previous to putting the RM cam technology in place, they had no knowledge of what had actually happened except that something had gone
They
on.
would have physically had to go to the location, assess the damage and then react to it, whereas in this case...
Yep. In this case, they've got the ability to make an assessment before they leave the depot. And in the example that you've put up there, they were able to bring contractors in place and have it all cleared before nightfall.
So Brendan, in terms of your business, what kinds of products and services are you using?
Typically, because we're spread all over the country and our installations are, when people are visiting those installations to do maintenance or check, the ability to have your email and all your files available to you on your phone or on an iPad, it's everything for us.
To find out how the Telstra NextG network can help your business, go to telstra.com/business. Well, hello, Donna. How are you? Good to see you again. Now, how'd you go with the experts?
Oh, it was really invigorating for all of us. It's been really good for the town. Fantastic.
Oh, that's great, because it really is a challenge for regional towns, isn't it? To get yourself on the one theme. And was that the common advice that came through, that you've all got to work together?
Yeah, I think that we have to a certain extent collaborated in the past, but it was great to have experts come in and say to us that this is what we need to do, differentiate ourselves so that we're not all doing the same thing, work together and feed off each other.
Oh, terrific. So it's been useful?
Oh, it's been fantastic,
Terrific.
Kochie. It was
Glad
wonderful.
we can help.
Thank you
and
so much.
Everybody come here for a weekend. It is a great place to visit. All
Thanks,
right.
Kochie.
Good to see you, Donna.
Yeah.
Look, sadly, this is the last episode of this series, but don't worry, we'll be back later in the year. And in the meantime, we're not going to go away. From the beginning of March, a brand new website, bigger and better than ever, yahoo7.com.au/small business. And don't forget our Business Builders Bootcamp, April 7 and 8. Details are on the website. 2 days of inspiration, of new ideas. It's really going to make a big difference to your business. So I will see you there. Check out the video extras on the website, where you'll find lots of extra tips from today's experts for both the Wingham businesses and the town. They make fascinating viewing. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter so we can keep you across all things small business. yahoo7.com.au/small business.